Hello everybody, my name is Calcinez from Cal's Market Company and welcome back to Onshape Lesson 1. So, from the previous video we learned about how you actually make your own account on here on Onshape. It is for free, but you need internet access to actually use the Onshape itself on the software. So, just give you a reminder on that one. It is for free, the account, it's just that you need internet source to actually begin your work right away on your journey. So right now we'll be discussing about some of the areas, such as, for example, how to use the tools and features on making your own projects, and then secondly, how to actually use some of the other functions, which is the blueprints and using the assembly process along the way. Now, it will be easier for us to actually learn this one right away with the basics. That's it. That's all we're gonna do for now, and until future videos. And after that, once you understand and get the grasp of this software for Onshape, you will learn this, and after that you'll gain more experience and knowledge with another software that is being used all the time, because most of the time all these softwares does contain most of the two basics, the tools and then the familiar of the software. So it will be different on different softwares once you see them, but again, you will see the similarities on the top menu and then the layout. It's just it varies like which and how it's being approached and how the tools are being used differently. So okay, let's begin. So right here we have this entire menu. If yours has a blank area, it should be blank. Mine has everything else on each projects that you see right here down below, and recently I have done previous projects along the way for like entertainment, for education, and for us to learn along the way to actually how to use these functions right away. So then the next one on the left side on the icons, we do have these other features, which is the Onshape, my Onshape, which is your profile. Recently opened will be the ones down here of your recent histories, or the Onshape that you opened last time. Rated by me will be your only yourself. You can actually change your settings for your either to public or to private. Share with me if you have another, either a coworker or another colleagues that you want to share one another onto the team network that's on Onshape. Other softwares, they do have that too as well. If you have a group assignment, you can actually share one another if you have the same softwares, so that way each one of them actually sync in to actually say, okay, this is what I could do for my project. Or you can actually have like, okay, I have this project right here, they'll share you this one, what do you think, can you make some edit, or can you like fix some similarities? That's how it is, it works with the share with me. Public will be everything else that you'll look online that provide a lot more projects at hand. So for example, if you want to look for a bearing, just type in bearings at the search in my Onshape or onto the public. It'll say the public too as well. Either way, it'll open up, and that you'll find those art and components that you're looking for, rather than yourself to actually design it if it's very complicated. But if it's not that very complicated, don't worry, we can learn this along the way how to make this work for yourself. Okay, then we have the create. So we have these three functions. You have the documents, folders, import the files, import from, which is on the cloud base, and labels. So what it means that on these two right here, where we focus on that one, document means that you begin your first projects that you want to create. Folders is the one you create your own folders in a different assigned areas. So if you create your folders in a different manner, for example, these two right here, I have to keep them separate because there's two different separate projects I have been doing recently, and that way you get to create your documents. So first one we're going to select is the document, so we're going to select that one once, and on here you have different names. So I'm going to try practice 1, because again we're going to try this one. Labels, we don't have to worry about labels for now until later on. Create public documents, click on that one, and it'll automatically sync in. So it'll load up everything else right here. So right now we have these areas that is similar, but also if it's very new to you, don't worry, we'll explain along the way. So on the left side, this is what the menu looks like, and that you have these other features, which is you have the origin, which you'll see that on the work area, you'll see the origin will turn orange as I move back and forth. You guys can see it's already turned on. But if you want to hide that, you can actually click on this icon that has an eye. Click on that one, it'll hide the origin right away, so that way it won't be in the way in your drawing. Open that one, reveal itself. If we have these planes right here, it'll show on this right here too as well. On the work plane, you have the top, front, and right. You can notice that on your work plane it turns orange once I move on to this right here, or you can go over here on the work plane, select these three vice versa, it's still the same process, like how you select which one of these ones right here. Now, on your mouse, or if you have a laptop, which is going to be more challenging, I would suggest get a mouse because it will be much faster rather than just using the laptop. It's going to be a little more tedious and long term, that it will take a long time for you to work your own way along the way. So on your keyboard, you have three functions, or on your mouse, you have three functions. One is the left click, one is the right click, which it'll bring up this little menu. And in the middle, there's a scroller. Once you scroll, you have the zoom function, which is you can zoom in and out. And there's another one, you can click on the scroll. So you just click onto it, you can feel it. You can just pan it around. So you just have to hold it down on the scroll. Don't click it once because it's not going to do anything else. It has no functions. Once I click it, nothing else. But if I hold it down, you can actually see it'll move around. So that's how it looks. And that's it. If you hold the right click button, you can actually rotate it too as well. And again, same thing with it works the same thing with the scroller. If you click it once, it's just gonna bring this little side menu, but then nothing will happen. You have to hold it down on your right click button and on your mouse, and then just rotate it. That's it, whatever rotation you get. Left button is just a click, but if you will hold it down, you can highlight everything else on the work plane, so you can just highlight it. There's two ways you can do it. One's the blue side, it'll select the specific items that you want, which we'll discuss that later. And the other side is the going the opposite direction. It'll turn yellow. It'll select the same thing, but it'll select the whole entire area. So I'll show you that one next time in the next video. Okay, so now if you get lost like this, if you have like a different rotation that you want to go back to specifically, this one is a cube view. So now most of the times on the softwares you have this cube view. It'll help you out. Most of the other softwares will have that, but you have to use that one differently on the different functions. So from here, it works the same way. You just select the specific areas that you want, like either the right view, it'll rotate to the right. There's these little arrows, you can actually rotate it just a little bit slightly. You can see the back and front. You can select the front, either way. You can select the corners, which is the top one, so you can select that one. It'll give you this isometric view. If you want to select this, you wouldn't select that one, so it's okay. If you want to rotate it, you guys just select this way. You can rotate that direction, rotate this way, tilt it back, and this is how it works with the cube function. There's this one right here too as well, but we'll learn that one later on in the future. Down here, you have the other functions too as well. You have the assembly and part. This one, you can actually add this new element. You can click onto that one. You can still create your part on the same Onshape here. So we'll discuss that later on in the future. So we'll learn that one along the way. Okay. Now then, up here you have these other functions. You have two of them. One's the features and one's the sketch. That's it. Other softwares will have more tools and functions, but again, that's a little more advanced area. But right now we're just gonna learn the basics right here on Onshape. So we're just gonna learn these two, which is sketch and features. So let's go begin. So we're gonna select our sketch right here. So it'll say create new sketch. Click it once, and that's it. Once this is selected, it says select a sketch plane. The sketch plane will be these guys right here. So it doesn't matter which way you want it, either the right, front, or top. The only thing that you matter is on the blueprint. So on the blueprint, it'll tell you which one you want to start. But most of the time, as a rule of thumb, it doesn't matter where you want to select it because it depends where you want to start it. And there's no way to indicate like how do you know that it's gonna be that specific spot. You know it'll be specific on the part that it'll say, okay, I just want to select the front view. Why do you want to choose a front view? That's the thing. I was told about this one from another instructor that if you have a part, you have to be specific of why you want to select that area and what is the purpose of that one reason. So right now, I just want to select the front view for now, just in case, so that way I can just begin the our lecture right now. Once that's selected, you notice that on your top view, it changes. So you have these designs or the sketches that you want to use. So these are the ones that is your building foundation to begin your build up. So let's begin a square. So I'm gonna go back to my view cube or to the front view. Actually, I'm going to select anything else with the front view. So I'm going to go back to my cube, select the front, and it'll automatically go to the front view direction. So now you'll be working on a 2D area that you'll be working on to. So the first one I want to try is the line. I'm going to select that one. And I'm just going to start from here, this origin. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to make about either 3 inches. Let's go make it 3 inches by 3 inches. And I'm just going to make a simple line. That's it. And from here, you notice that from this line, I'm going to undo it again. So I'm going to repeat that. Whoops. Too far. Select the line. Origin. Doesn't matter. I'll do that measurement later on. But once I hit to the end point right here, you notice that this will change its colors. It went from hidden line yellow. The reason for that is because on the softwares, it'll have a secondary hand that will aid you along the way. So if you want to look for a edge of the line, it'll click in and it'll know that you will stop right there. If you want to look for the center of the line, it'll click that one too as well at the center of the line. If you go over here, you'll see a center line that will come up. Don't click nothing else. That's the big issues with for new beginners, because if you end up going over here and you select it, you're just ruining your spot, and you end up like doing these multiple items that is gonna be a mess. That's a no. Do not do that. Do not click anything else until I say so. Until then, you'll continue on. Okay, so I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna go back to the line. I'm gonna go back to my spot where it went to. Click that one, and you just go over here to this end. I'm just gonna select it over here because again, we don't have the end point once you get to this origin. And all you do is just connect the dots. Click it, and it'll cancel the command. That's it. Now, I'm gonna add my dimensions. I want to make it everything else true as 3 inches. So how do you do that one? There's this little icon that says dimension, or these little 2 arrows. Click onto that one, and it'll give you this dimension. What you're gonna do is select the line only. That's it. Most of the time, most people will actually do it the long way, just like going to corner to corner. That's okay, but it's gonna take you a long time to actually do that because it will make you on your mouse. Depends on how sensitive it is. All you have to do is select the line that you want, so that way it'll highlight itself. Click that once, and that's it. And here too as well, you don't have to be specific to actually like know where you want to put it. Like if you want to put it inside the little details or outside little details, it does not matter where you put it, as long you see the numbers and dimensions and it's away from your drawings, which we'll discuss that later on in the future. So if I select the areas that I want in my own decision, I'll click it again and it'll bring up this little icon right here. So it'll turn blue with the numbers. I'm going to type in 3 on your keyboard, and I'm going to press enter on the keyboard. There we go. So now we have 3 inches. I'm going to do the same thing on this side, on the vertical. I'm going to do 3 inches. Click the line, click out here, type in 3, enter. There we go. So now we have 3, 3, 3. If you gotta do the remainings out here, don't do it because it will over boundary itself, which it'll lock it right away, because it'll tell you that you're overdoing it too much. Because again, why you want to do another dimension? Because if you already have a dimension over here, in the future, most parts, if you are doing along the way, and if you're trying to add in the dimension, and if there's an error that tells you that you're overdoing the commands, it will tell you that you did a command before that you did not know, and you have to find it to actually get rid of that command to actually get to your last dimension right away to actually get it fixed. Which we'll look at that along the way. We'll have another blueprint. Right now we're just gonna do the basics. Right now we're okay. I'm gonna do is click this one, so it'll cancel the command. So you notice that it'll turn blue. Make sure you double check your tools if it's highlighted. So if I click it once, you can see it turns highlighted blue. If I click the line, it'll turn blue. All the other softwares, it'll tell you that you're still in command. You have to double check everything else on top, so that way you know that it's still on or active. Make sure you cancel it, so that way you'll disable it. That's it. So that way you won't have to cause a mess. That's the biggest one. So that's it. Okay, once you're done with that, I'm gonna press check on the sketch one. Once you're done with that, on the top, your tools will change to features. Now, this is the one as a second foundation that you'll begin building up your 3D dimension. So the first one we want to select is the extrude. So we can extrude this guy right here. Once this pop up, it'll give you this option. You have the face and sketch regions, which is this face right here. I'm going to select it. And it'll give you this option right here, blind. Yep, it's going to be 3 inches. Enter, and that's it. So now we need to know if it's in a 3D dimension. Go over here on the cube, click this corner, and that way you'll know it'll make that 3 dimension. So previously used to be 1 inch, enter, that's a 1 inch. Type in 3 inch, this is 3 inch. So this is a cube that we want. Once you get that number and it's already set to go, click check. And there we go. So now you have a cube. And if you want to, you can rotate it. If you have a keyboard or a mouse, hold down your scroll or right click your right click button, hold it down and just rotate it. So now we have a cube. Good. Now let's go try a rectangle. Okay, so I'm going to add in a new element. Go down here. On most of the other softwares, it'll tell you do new sketch. So that way you have to go up here, go into file and new. This one has a different way to approach it. So you have to go down here, add a new part studio, which is not that bad on here on this Onshape, which is not that bad. You can actually add in your new multiple parts in one file right here. So this is your entire work. You can actually make your multiple items down here below, which is very interesting on Onshape. Some other softwares will have that function, but not this direction, because they have to do it separately on a different file. And yeah, different file program. So, okay, so now I'm going to go back over here to sketch again. Front view, and we're going to make ourselves a rectangle. Click on that one. I'm going to choose the rectangle right here icon. It'll be blue. Once you select that one, I'm going to go to this origin. I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to do the same one again. 3 inches in height, but I'm going to make it 6 inches in length. So how are you going to do that? Go over here to dimension, click this one. It'll cancel this out, so you have to worry about it. Click this line, type in 3. Click this line, type in 6. There we go. So now we got 6 and 3. Check it. Now we're going to do our extrude. Extrude this area, this plane of the extrude of the sketch 1, and it's going to be 3 inches. Check your work. Voila. So now you have this rectangular cube right here. Okay. Okay, so now you understand how you do it right now. Now, on here, you can actually go back onto the menu over here. So this one is a history that you build up from a tree, which is like the seeds is right here. It's about to sprout out its root, and it's building up its branches. So this is what it looks like that you build up your history along the way. Or it's going to be a parent to a child. So this is the parent, and this is to be the child. So you're building up like a family tree again. So you're making a pattern of the history going back and forth, back and forth. So for example, if I was to go back over here, I'm going to right click the sketch 1. I'm going to edit. It'll let me edit the sketch only. That's it. And let me go try, if I want to make a long bar, I'm going to type in 12 inches. There we go. Once you type in that one, I'm going to make this one as, I'm going to change it to 5. There we go. Check it. And you'll see that it already accepts the new changes that you made. If I want to go back to the features, go back to extrude one that you created, right click it, and you can edit again. You can actually edit out the same thing again, same process. You can actually extrude it outward. You could do the opposite direction. Either way, once you select your specific area, check it, and again, it'll change its shape. So back here, you can actually edit out the areas that you want to focus. You can actually use that one opportunity too as well. Okay, next one, let's go make another part again. This time, let's go make a pyramid step. So I want to go to new sketch, but I'm going to choose the top view. Let's select the top view, I'm gonna select my, let's go select the center point rectangle, select that one. Go to the center of the origin and then sprout out. So now you're learning two new areas, which is the rectangle. There's a little black icon. You can just click that one on the side, and it'll give you these ones right here. So you have two options. One is the center rectangle, and corner rectangle and the center point rectangle. So most of the other softwares will actually have that one. It depends on how they pronounce it, but again, same concept on the rectangles, corner to corner and center to point. They might have different tools down below. That's a little different one. That's until later on next time. Okay, and I'm gonna stretch out a little more. I'm gonna make it about, let's do 7" by 7". Okay, there we go. I'm gonna check it. I'm going to rotate it back where it was. Let's see. We're on the right side. Select this corner. There we go. So I want to do a isometric view. Go to the extrude. Select the plane. Most of the time on the blueprints, I think I'll try this out. I'm gonna select the sketch 1, so it'll select the whole thing, and you got your extrude. Same concept, different approach. So if you want to approach this way, like select this one, do the extrude. That's another way. Actually, let's see. If I want to do extrude, select the plane. That's another way. If I was gonna select this sketch 1, extrude, that's another way. The reason why there's two ways, because if you want to find a specific areas that you want to look for, if it's too much drawings onto here and you can't find that specifically, you can go back over here to your library, select the one that you want on your sketch, and that way you can actually activate that one. Click on this one, and that way it'll activate that one only. That's it. So I'm gonna type in 2 inches, enter, check it. There you go. Go to top view. I'm gonna select the top right here and sketch. There we go. So you're selecting the top of the part. So I'm gonna repeat again, but this time in this side view, so you'll see what you mean, or what I mean. So I'm gonna select the top. You notice that it'll highlight the top of the part instead of the plane itself. Once I sketch it, it'll sketch this top only. That's it. So now you see the plane, sketch 2, it's on top of this plane right here, instead of the plane on the top plane right here. So hopefully that makes sense on my side. So hopefully that you don't get confused. Oh, and that way you'll see along the way too as well. This one, I'm going to select the corner rectangle. And I'm going to bring it over here. Whoops. That's not it. That's not the one I was looking for. Corner rectangle. That's the one I needed. I'm going to select this corner. And I want to make it about 4 inches by 4 inches. Okay, go to Smart Dimension. 4 inches. Having 4, enter. Having 4, enter. There we go. Check it, and that's it. So now you'll see the part that's gonna be on top right here, or your sketch is on top of this guy right here. So now I'm gonna select the sketch 2, extrude that one, and now we'll select this one only. That's it. I went to 2 inches. There we go. Check it. Now we're building upward. I'm gonna select the same plane right here on the top, so that we'll build another one, another pyramid. New sketch, top view, and then the corner rectangle. And last one's gonna be the 2 inches by 2 inches. Dimension that out, 2 inches by 2 inches. Check it. There we go. Rotate it on your mouse, or if you're still stuck right here, let's see, I'm gonna go back to top view. If you're still stuck in this view, go over here on the view cube, click on the corner. So that way you can actually bring this isometric view. Okay. Extrude that one on the square. So again, vice versa, either way, make sure you select the right one. 2 inches. Check. Voila. Now we have a pyramid stairs. Alrighty. And that's it. Same concept too as well if you want to like edit out the sketches, but kind of like be careful along the way, because on the library it tells you differently on the history. So if I was gonna hide this guy right here, let's see. Let me hide this one or suppress it. So each of these ones represent the height going upward. It doesn't mean that you got to go back to the library and thinking that, okay, I want to edit this guy out. You can't, unless you make a new one, which is I'm going to unsuppress it. I'm going to do a new sketch, and I'm going to only edit this guy out. That's it, which is this shape right here. But I cannot do, actually, you can still, you just have to go back to the sketch, which you've done with that one shape right here. No, I'm not going to restore that one. I can do is go back to extrude, but I'm going to remove it. So that way it'll remove a section of it. That you can change that, yeah. But it will not make a difference on your history. Depends on what you're doing on your part. So, we'll learn that along the way, right away. So that way you get a little more understanding how to use this function right away. Now the next question is, can you add more other functions onto here, onto the parts? Yes, you can. You can actually modify it on your parts if you have it as a complete finalized component. For example, if I have a cube and I want to make this hollow from the inside, yeah, you can do that. You can actually go back into this one, modify it, and you got to make your own design. That's it. You got to modify your shapes. Same thing with this rectangle, modify it. Depends on what you want on your approach on your side. Same thing with this one, how you want to modify it. That's your approach on your side. Okay. Now, oh, actually, I think that's it. That's all we can do for now. So that's all we learned for today right now. How to use the menu above here. We'll learn a little more step ahead along the way, so that way you'll understand how to use the functions right away. So I think that's it. That's all I can do for today right now. So you guys get the idea of what we're going to do later on in the future. We'll do some of the other components next time and then get serious. Okay. Hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll be with you next time. Goodbye.